Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a comparison between 3 high output Seymour Duncan Telecaster bridge pickups. These include the Hot Rails, which is a dual rail humbucker, the Hot Lead for Tele, which is a traditional single coil, and the Little 59, which is a humbucker. Now these two guitars are quite similar. This is a 92 Telecaster standard. This is a 95 Telecaster standard. They're both top loaders, both 6 saddles, both made out of poplar with maple necks, very similar weights, very similar guitars. So on paper, this pickup is supposed to be more like a PAF humbucker. This pickup is supposed to be more like a high output humbucker. And this is a hot true single coil. And for the record, this guitar has an ash body. It is string through, but obviously a maple neck and fretboard. So these are all pretty similar, all 6 saddles, slightly different styles for each one. But I think this will be a pretty good test. The one that high output Telecaster pickup I'd love to have that's been part of their line for a long time is the quarter pounder, which I've never been able to try in Telecaster form, but I'd love to one day. But if you're looking at a Seymour Duncan high output Telecaster bridge pickup, these are 3 of the most popular options. So we will now play some blind sound samples and come back with the results. So let's see how they do. Before I reveal the results, let me say that all those sound samples were close mic'd with a Shure SM57 directly into an audio interface, directly into the recording device. There was no post-production editing, so no EQing or compression after the fact. And all the amp settings were the same for every guitar and every of the respective sound samples. So that being said, guitar A was the Seymour Duncan hot lead traditional single coil. Guitar B, the Seymour Duncan hot rails dual rail humbucker. And guitar C, the Seymour Duncan Little 59 single coil sized humbucker. I should also note that all of these guitars have 250K pots. You would get a little bit more bite out of the humbuckers with 500K, but for the purposes of this comparison, I think it's good that they're all the same so you know exactly what the pickups sound like. It's a matter of personal preference whether you would want to have 500K or 250K pots with the humbucker guitars. It does make a little difference, but I tend to defer to Philip McKnight when it comes to these things. And like he says, if someone snuck into your house at night and swapped out all your 250K pots for 500K pots, or vice versa, you probably wouldn't tell the difference the next day. There would be a small difference, but not a huge difference. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But of course, everyone should outfit their guitars to their own personal taste. But for the purpose of this comparison, I do think it's good that they have the same value pots, so you know exactly what the pickups are doing. And again, these guitars are not absolutely identical or very, very similar in their construction. I'm very happy to have done this test because I've been modding Telecasters for over 20 years. And I love Seymour Duncan pickups. And I've looked at all these pickups at various times and wondered what the differences really were, since they're all seeking to give you a higher output Telecaster sound. And this is the first time I've compared them myself so directly. So this is even insightful for me, even though, I've been playing that bridge pickup for over 20 years. This one for not very long at all. But this one for several years. So it shows that you can always learn something more even about your own guitars. So if you're in the market for these pickups, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on rocking.